Timeline of the Philippine presidents.
We have here our first president, Emilio Aguinaldo, the first president of the Philippines First Republic, also known as the Malolos Republic. One way to remember the first president of the Philippines First Republic is to look at the 5 peso coin. The back of the coin shows him holding the Philippine flag at the celebration of the Philippine Independence Day because he led the proclamation of the Philippine Independence Day. The second president is Manuel L. Quezon, the first president of the Philippine Commonwealth. After 34 years of insular government under American rule, Philippine voters elected Manuel L. Quezon. He is known as the father of national language, ama ng wikang pambansa. He is also the first Filipino featured in the cover of Time magazine. Our third president is Jose P. Laurel, only Philippine president who served the 3 branches of the government. His presidency is controversial. He was officially the government caretaker during the Japanese occupation of World War II. He is the founder of the Lyceum of the Philippines and organized the Kalibapi. Our fourth president is Sergio Osmeña. He was 65 when he became president, making him the second oldest president to hold office. He was the first Visayan to become president, and he joined U.S. General Douglas MacArthur in Leyte on October 20, 1944, starting the freedom of the Philippines from the Japanese during World War II. On his time, the Bell Trade Act was approved by the U.S. Congress, and the Philippines joined the International Monetary Fund. Our fifth president is Manuel Rojas. He was inaugurated as the new and first president of the new republic because the Philippines was finally free after the World War II. In his time, the country has started reconstruction from war damage, and the Philippines started breathing without foreign rule. Under his term, the Philippine Rehabilitation Act and Philippine Trade Act laws were accepted by the Congress. Next is Elpidio Quirino. He was the first president sworn into office wearing Barong Tagalog in his inauguration. His presidency was referred as the Philippines' golden years, for it was the cleanest and zero corruption. The Philippines was ranked second in Asia's clean and well-governed countries. He established National Resettlement and Rehabilitation Administration among his agrarian reforms. Next is Ramon Magsaysay. He was a military governor and an engineer. During his presidency, the Philippines had its golden years for its lack of corruption. The country was also ranked second in Asia's clean and well-governed countries. Our next president is Carlos P. Garcia. He was known for Filipino First policy. He established the austerity program focusing on Filipino trade and commerce, was known as the Prince of Visayan Poets, and the Board of Bohol. Cultural arts was revived during his term. Our next president is Diosdado Macapagal. He established the first land reform law. He placed the Philippines currency, peso, on the currency exchange market. He made June 12, 1898 as the Philippines Independence Day. He signed the minimum wage law. He signed the creation of the Philippine Veterans Bank. Next is Ferdinand E. Marcos. He was the first president to win a second term. He declared martial law on September 22, 1972. He increased the size of the Philippine military and armed forces. In 1980, GNP was 4 times greater than 1972. In 1986, the Philippines was one of the most indebted countries in Asia, the only president who had a record of building more schools, roads, bridges, hospitals, and infrastructures than all former presidents did. Our next president is Quezon Aquino. She was the first woman president of the Philippines and the first woman to become president of an Asian country. She was the 11th president and democracy icon, one of the 100 women who shaped world history and 20 most influential Asians of the 20th century. She signed the Filmy Code of 1987. Our next president is Fidel V. Ramos. During his presidency, the country was cited as Asia's next economic tiger because he brought back economic growth. The only Filipino who received British knighthood from the United Kingdom. He led the 4th APEC summit held in the Philippines. His Philippines 2000 vision made the Philippine Stock Exchange one of the best improving and rising economies in the world during mid-90s. Death penalty was reinstated in his time. Our next president is Joseph Estrada. Hirap para sa mahirap is his popular slogan. Joseph Ejercito Estrada is the first film actor to become president of a country next to Ronald Reagan. He was among the Magnificent 12 who voted for the termination of U.S. military bases agreement and removal of U.S. forces and all alleged armaments present in Clark Air Base and Subic Naval Base. Our next president is Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, a Kapampangan native and daughter of ex-President Diosdado Macapagal, became second female Philippine president. Philippine economy grew at its fastest in 3 decades in 2007, GDP exceeding 7% growth as claimed by Malacanang press releases. U.S. ex-President Bill Clinton cited Gloria's tough decisions because of her brilliant strategy to make the country's economy back in shape amidst the 2008 global financial crisis. Our next president is Benigno Aquino III, popularly known as Pinoy. He is the son of the first female Philippine president and of Asia, Corazon Coangco Aquino. He initiated the K-12 education in the Philippines during his term. He renamed the office of the press secretary into Presidential Communications Operations Office and appointed new officers. He has paved peace in Mindanao through the Bangsamoro Islamic Freedom Movement. Our next president is Rodrigo Rua Duterte. He is the 16th president of the Philippines. He signed the Freedom of Information Order. Duterte launched a 24-hour complaint hotline 8888. He signed an order for smoking ban in public places, launched the Build infrastructure program. Duterte signed the train law and the comprehensive tax reform program. Duterte has been featured in the cover of the Time magazine. Ferdinand Marcos Jr. He is our current president. His campaign is focused on unity. BBM won the presidential election by a landslide garnering over 31 million votes. Marcos Jr. authored landmark laws such as the Philippine Archipelagic Baselines Law or RA 9522. BBM is an advocate of renewable energy and sustainable development. And that would be all. Thank you.